This video demonstrates the step-by-step procedure to install the Monogram 30-inch Smart Electric Convention single-wall ovens. The installation procedure applies to the statement oven collections, including the French door and Minimalist collections. Before beginning the installation, ensure the following conditions are met. Switch off the power at the service panel and lock it. Ensure you plan the oven installation in such a way that the oven is securely installed in a cabinet that is firmly attached to the house structure. Ensure the wall coverings, counters, and cabinets around the oven can withstand up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit generated by the oven. All electric wall ovens must be hardwired into an approved junction box. A plug and receptacle is not permitted on these products. The tools and materials required for the installation are displayed on the screen. Remove the oven and all other packaging parts from the box. Then, remove labels and protective film on all stainless steel parts. Open oven door and remove literature pack and oven racks. Remove the bottom trim from the top of the oven. The trim is wrapped separately and taped to the top of the unit. It will be installed at the end. Discard all packaging material. A single-wall oven can be installed in a cabinet alone, or above a warming drawer, or below a microwave, or Advantia model. However, the French door oven model is not allowed under a countertop or cooktop, and it is not allowed to be installed flush to the front surface of the cabinet. Note that these ovens are not approved for stackable installations. If the cabinet does not have a solid bottom, install 2 braces or runners to support the weight of the oven. For single-wall ovens, the runners and braces must support 220 pounds. Note, if marks, blemishes, or the cutout opening are visible above the installed oven, add wood shims under the runners until the marks or opening are covered. Note, if the cabinet does not have a front frame and the sides are less than 3/4 inch thick, add cleats to both sides equally to establish the cutout width. The overall cabinet width is 30 inches, and the cutout width is to be between 28.5 inches minimum and 28 5/8 inches maximum. The oven cutout requires a minimum height of 16.25 inches from the floor to a maximum of 32.5 inches. The cutout height requires a minimum of 27.25 inches and a maximum of 27 5/16 inches. To enable door swing and oven usage, allow additional clearances of 16.5 inches. The junction box is located at the back of the unit and must be installed at a minimum height of 22 inches from the cutout bottom. Refer to the installation manual to determine the other major dimensions and side-by-side installation of 2 separate ovens. For installing a single-wall oven over a warming drawer or under a microwave or Advantium oven, additional clearances with a minimum of 2 inches between cutouts may be required. Ensure that the oven supporting structure above the warming drawer location does not obstruct the required interior depth and height. When installing a warming drawer below the oven, install a separate 120 volts 60 Hz properly grounded receptacle. For installing the anti-tip block against the rear wall, refer to the installation manual of warming drawer or the microwave or Advantia models. The rating plate is located on the left side trim of the oven frame. Refer to the chart in the installation manual to determine the minimum recommended dedicated circuit protection. It is usually a 20 amp circuit. To support connecting the conduit to the junction box, place the oven on a table or platform that is even with the cutout opening. Connect the flexible conduit to the electrical junction box. Position the conduit in such a manner that it will lie behind the unit in a natural loop when the oven is installed. Note that, by default, the ovens are equipped with a 48 inches long conduit. If you need a longer conduit, contact your nearest dealer. Use a strain relief clamp to complete the connection of the conduit to the junction box. Note that the strain relief clamp is not provided with the product. For a 3-conductor branch circuit connection, connect the oven ground conductor along with the neutral or white lead to the branch circuit neutral which is white or gray in color, using a wire nut. Connect the oven red lead to the branch circuit red lead and the oven black lead to the branch circuit black lead using wire nuts. Install junction box cover. For a 4-conductor branch circuit connection, attach the appliance grounding lead, which is green or bare copper. Connect the oven neutral or white lead to the branch circuit neutral, which is white or gray in color, using a wire nut. Connect the oven red lead to the branch circuit red lead and the oven black lead to the branch circuit black lead using wire nuts. Install junction box cover. Do not shorten the flexible conduit. The conduit strain relief clamp must be securely attached to the junction box, and the flexible conduit must be securely attached to the clamp. To slide the oven into the opening, loop a 36-inch string around the conduit before the oven is slid into place. This will keep the conduit from falling behind the oven. Lift oven into the cabinet cutout using the oven opening as a grip. Carefully push against oven front frame. As you slide the oven back, pull the string so that the conduit will lie on top of the oven in a natural loop. Ensure that the conduit is out of the way and slide the oven 3/4 way back into the opening. Remove the string by pulling on one end of the loop. Do not push against outside edges. To install the bottom trim for single wall ovens, attach the bottom trim through its mounting holes in front vertical brace using the 2 trim screws. Place the bottom trim lip under the flange of bottom air duct. After installing the bottom trim, slide the oven back in. Keep the bottom trim to the inside of the side cabinet trims. Ensure that the trim does not catch the edge of the cabinet and bend. Ensure that you prevent any damages to the oven cabinet. Refer to the safety instructions and warnings in the manual before you proceed with mounting the oven. Before you proceed, note that the mounting hole locations vary depending on the model. Note, before drilling the pilot holes, ensure that the oven is pushed as far back into the opening as it will go and is centered. To mount the oven, drill through the mounting holes at the top and bottom of the side trim. Secure the oven cabinet with the number 8 screws provided. The screws must be a minimum of 1/4 inches from the front of the cutout. To install the oven racks, locate included oven rack guide mounting hardware. Place oven rack guides on cavity wall studs with L bracket towards back of cavity. Install guides using the 8 mounting nuts. Door adjustment mechanism is located on both the right and left doors of the bottom hinges. Using the 3/16" hex key, tighten vertical adjustment screw to adjust the door upwards and loosen to adjust the door downwards. Horizontal adjustment screws pivot the door about an axis. Using a 1/8" hex key, loosen both screws. Then tighten appropriate screw to pivot door. As soon as the door is set in place, ensure that both hex screws are tightened. Adjust the doors inward only until the center gap is even. Over-adjusting can damage the center seals and make the doors more difficult to open. There are various scenarios in which over-adjustment can lead to faulty door positions affecting the center gap. This video demonstrates a few of the scenarios involving adjustment of the left door height and the center gap. Note, you cannot remove the door of a French door oven model. Example 1. If the left door is low, but the center gap is even, tighten the left vertical adjustment screw. If the left door continues to stay low, loosen the right vertical adjustment screw. Example 2. If the left door is low, but the center gap is larger at the bottom, loosen the inside horizontal adjustment screw. Tighten the outside horizontal adjustment screw until the center gap is even. If the left door continues to stay high, tighten the left vertical adjustment screw and then tighten the inside horizontal adjustment screw. Example 3. If the left door is high, but the center gap is larger at the top, loosen the outside horizontal adjustment screw. Note, door removal is specific to drop-down door oven models only. It is not a requirement for installation of the product. It is only an added convenience. To remove the door, open the oven door as far as it will go. Remove hinge bracket, if equipped, from front frame and set aside. Note that you need to replace the hinge bracket for proper door functionality when the door is reinstalled. Use a flat blade screwdriver to push both hinge locks down toward the door frame to the unlocked position. Place hands on both sides of the door and close the oven door to the removal position, approximately 1 to 2 inches from the closed position. Lift the door up and out until the hinge arms clear the slots. Note: the oven door is very heavy. Have a firm grip before lifting the oven door off the hinges. Use caution once the door is removed. Do not lay the door on its handle. This could cause dents or scratches. To replace the oven door, lift the oven door by grasping each side. With the door at the same angle as the removal position, that is, 1 to 2 inches from the closed position, seat the notch of the hinge arm into the bottom edge of the hinge slot. Ensure that the notch is fully seated into the bottom of the slot. Open the door fully to check. If the door does not fully open, the indentation is not seated correctly in the bottom edge of the slot. Push the hinge locks upwards against the front frame of the oven cavity to the lock position. Replace hinge bracket, if equipped, to ensure proper door functionality. Close the oven door. The installation of oven is complete. Refer to the installation and operations checklist provided in the manual to finalize the installation.